What is marriage? Husband and a wife, they get married, right? But there's an entity. They think they are just, me, my wife. But God says you are one. There's an entity. That entity is marriage. So the husband nurtures himself, the wife nurtures herself, but there's an entity that is being ignored. The marriage is an entity. Marriage is an entity of two human beings with God as the third person. The Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes a threefold cord is not quickly broken. It's an entity. So when you think of an entity, you want to think of the company you are working in. Because the company you are working in is an entity. So when you look at the company you are working in, you immediately see that there's a structure. There's a structure. There's leadership in that company. There are people following the leader. There are rules. There's order. There's meetings. For instance, because that company is an entity, you work for the company, you can't just turn up anyhow. There's structure. And that's why when you see marriages that have issues, there's a lack of structure somewhere. Something has gone out of structure. Meanwhile, you cannot see a company that doesn't have structure and the company will survive for a long time. In the morning, you want to go and buy, on Saturday morning, you want to go and buy bakery goods in Marks and Spencer's, for instance. You leave your house 7:45 to 8 in the morning because you are very sure that Marks and Spencer's will open by 8. We need structure in the family. If you don't have structure in marriage, there will be issues. So, also, because I say marriage is an entity, right? What do you do in the office? You have meetings. We have meetings. Your direct boss will call you. Hola, we need to have one-to-one. They book it in the calendar. There's one-to-one. Then the overall boss, why do they have those meetings? To clear misunderstandings, to make sure that we're going the right path. There are meetings. In the entity, the office staff, we talk to ourselves by emails, right? By verbal communication, non-verbal communication, there's communication. I'll still go into the entity later. I don't want to take too much time. I'll still come back to that entity. Marriage is an entity. Are you treating your marriage like an entity? Do you know that an organization has only one leader? They don't have two. Once they have two, there's a problem. There's a monster. It's only a monster that has two heads. So, in a marriage, somebody must be the head. And God has appointed a man to be the head. Because the Bible says the husband is the head of the wife. Just as Christ is the head of the church. So many men say, oh, I'm the head of the wife, I'm the head, is good. But the head does not oppress. Because if the head oppresses, Christ will oppress the church, and he doesn't. So we need to understand where we are. And the Bible says, I'm your head, sit down there until I tell you to stand up. But think about it, does God do that to the church? Many of us are online today. For one reason or the other. Did God go to strike them where they are? God understands. The head must walk in understanding towards those that he is leading. The people he is also leading should accept his position as the head. You should accept his position as the head. Like I said, I'll still come back to this. It's not completely, exhaustive. So you are the wife, you are the follower. Don't seek to insert yourself and be the head. Don't. There are rules. Don't allow a situation that hasn't any structure in your life. It's not okay. Let there be structure. Let there be order. Let there be order. don't let things just be happening. The husband wakes up in the morning, prays by himself. The wife wakes up in the morning, prays by herself. You've forgotten that there's an entity that is the marriage. Both of you are meant to pray together. You can have your personal prayer. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but the entity, you must take care of the entity. As long as, let's say, you pray by yourself, he prays by himself, you are ignoring the entity. There is likely to be problems when you do that. But I'll skip that for now. And I'll go to one of the reasons why marriage breaks.